Hello, everyone. It's Marge from Fashion Index, and I am bringing in Tirsa right now. And today we are going to be introducing you all to Renee. Her company is E.Foo. She's actually a menswear designer, and connect with Renee on fashionindex.com. E.Foo is the name of the company that you're looking for. And you will find out what E.Foo means very shortly. Hold on one second, Renee.
Hello, everybody. I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Hi, O'Neill. It's so good that you joined us.
Oh,
Hey,
Neil. Okay,
sending you both love. Thank you for joining.
I think Renee's coming in right now. Let me double check.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so we actually don't have very many menswear design companies on Fashion Index. So it's kind of nice to have, it's like a niche for us a little bit. And she has even more of a niche product that she actually can also help with, which is really cool. I
Yes,
just want you to see her. Hold on.
we've loved getting to know her, so we're very excited to introduce her to everyone else.
Exactly.
Hi, Renee. Come on. Join us. Join us on our live. We got this.
Let's see. Hold on. Here she is.
So we're really excited. This is going to be Renee's first IG Live. So please, everybody, give her lots of love and encouragement. She's a brave, strong woman, and we're so glad that she's chosen to do a live with us.
Yes.
She's coming to us from the UK, so you have 3 different time zones talking to you today. And as I told her, that just expands our reach. We know lots of people from every one of our areas across the world. So we're happy to share with you today.
Exactly. So just tell everyone a little bit about Fashion Index while I get Renee.
Yes, please. So Fashion Index is, oh, hi, Renee.
Yes.
Hey, Mark and Tiasa.
Yay.
Good
So
to see you.
Fashion Index is,
Hey,
good
Renee.
morning, love. Good morning. Good evening to
Hey.
you.
Yes. Good evening to you.
Just quickly, I'm going to introduce Fashion Index, and then I'm going to introduce our lovely Renee. So Fashion Index is your way of connecting the industry, and we want it to be the connection point for you. So if you're a person who's looking to get your business started, or maybe your business is started and you need new suppliers because you're ready to grow in different categories, in different volumes, you can go to our network and you can find everything that you need from individuals to businesses that are mills, trims, fabric suppliers, factories, all of those things. You can find your software solutions. You can find everything on Fashion Index.
Yeah.
If you are a supplier, please list yourself so that people can find you and use our network. It's a fantastic resource for everyone. So that's Fashion Index. It looks like Renee's having a little bit of a problem. I'm sure she'll join again in a second. I'll just tell you a little bit about Renee. Renee is a menswear designer. Her company is E.Foo Design. Hi, Renee.
Hey.
And this is Renee Bedell, and we are, as we said, we are so happy that you joined us for your live today. Why don't you take this moment and just talk a little bit about yourself, kind of where you've come from and where you are today.
Yeah, so I've been in the industry for around 7, 8 years now. I graduated like in 2014, but been freelance, so quite new to freelancing. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So, and tell us about how like your career has progressed a little bit, Renee.
Yeah, so I've done like quite a few different things within fashion. Started off with my own menswear label, which I did for a couple of years. That was sort of like selling in stores like LNCC and in Beams in Japan. And that was like a really massive learning curve, like just coming out of university and then figure out everything to do with production, which, as we were saying earlier, like they don't really go over. So it was just throwing in at the deep end with that. And then I went on to work for a bespoke uniform design company in London for a bit. That was really interesting, really good. Like it was not like fashion per se. It was kind of fashion from a more like branding point of view. Then I went on to do some work in Hong Kong for a high street brand, then in Shanghai for a smaller brand. Then I've come back to the UK, did some upcycling projects, And then I decided to go like fully freelance. Yeah.
I think it's great. Well, number one, obviously menswear is your love
That,
because
yeah.
you're focusing on menswear, right? I love it though. I think that you know, guys, we were speaking with Renee earlier, and what I love about Renee's experience is the branding side of what she does. She has a strong experience. You know, she worked for a uniform company doing the branded clothing part for them, and I'm sure that you guys are all familiar with, you know, when you go on an airline, when you go, with a company that's very brand focused. You know, I would say Tirsa and I really relate to it. Like when we were traveling overseas, a lot of the airlines have immaculate
So pretty.
branding in the clothing that that anyone working for the airlines wears, and it's so impressive. It really hits you. You feel upscale, like you're really and you know, you get their point of view immediately. And that's actually the kind of designing that Renee was doing previously as well. So I think it's good to know that if you have a strong or a need for a strong branding product as far as your product development needs are, Renee would definitely be the person to connect with regarding this. You know, of course she's a menswear designer, but it's important to know, because not everybody has this experience, that when you need branded product, definitely I would be connecting with Renee.
Yeah, that's definitely
Renee,
where she excels. Yep.
Do you want to talk a little bit more about that, Renee? Or
Yeah, it was an interesting experience because a lot of people don't think about uniform when they're starting up a company. That's kind of what I learned from it. They'll think about the website and they'll think about the branding, the concepts, all like and we were like trying to just like educate restaurant owners, like entrepreneurs, anyone in hospitality, that actually like you need to think about that right from the beginning. Yeah, no, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah,
it's great though. I mean, because you're right. Like, an entrepreneur might not be thinking, you know, about that level of branding, but who's coming to your table when you're at a restaurant? Like, you know what I mean? Who's there? And how is it? How are they presenting themselves? Like, it is all you as the business owner. They're representing you, so you have to think about all of these things. So I love that you have that experience. It's just incredible. And then in addition, Renee has experience in menswear design as well, guys. This is another niche product. Like, she's got great niche design experience. So I want you to kind of, I don't want her to be pigeonholed in just the menswear part of it, because these are fantastic categories that not everybody has experience in. When you talk about menswear design for outerwear or anything else, there, especially outerwear, I would say Tirsa and I both have experience in this. And in outerwear, it's everything to do with the construction, the stitch design, you know, but then the interior that you don't even realize how much design
both the interior
is
of the
unseen.
garment and like literally the interior of the product. So, you know, yes, you turn it inside out, and what does that look like? That's super important in outerwear, but also literally what's inside.
The seams. Yeah, inside, exactly.
Yeah. Are you doing down? Are you doing some other kind of filaments? Are you doing it in a different way? What is that outerwear, and what is its functionality and result? And as Renee and we were speaking before, she, you know, she did a project with a client around really high-end outerwear that looks great going to the office, but you know, you could also run to the park and walk your dog and be toasty warm. So, you know, there's so much to think about when you're doing that product, and she's very detail oriented, and she has that flair and taste and understanding.
Yeah, you can tell actually from your profile, Renee, because your profile on Fashion Index, I love all the tech pack design detail that you've actually, you know, posted as your images. Like the detail orientation is phenomenal. And that's what you have to have when you're designing product like outerwear, like, you know, menswear, everything like that. So
Yeah.
Thank
And,
you.
you know, she's done menswear, but she's done women's as well. But you should check her out on fashionindex.com. Find her as a resource. If you're not ready yet to use her, but you just want to make sure that you keep her in the top of your reminders, you can bookmark her, and so that you can go talk to her when you are ready. She
Right.
is just a fantastic person. We've loved talking to her and getting to know her, and definitely know that she's a valuable resource. So you should definitely connect with her, and feel free to follow her here too. But we absolutely love Renee and everything that she's doing.
Yeah, you really, I have to tell you, Renee, how's your connection? Can you hear us?
Yeah, sorry, I keep cutting out. I can hear
Okay.
you. I can hear you, but then I don't know what's happening. Sorry.
It's okay. This is technology. What do we
I
do,
know.
right?
It happens. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we were telling everybody about how you have experience with the outerwear design and with the, of course, the uniform design, in addition to menswear, which again, a lot, like you have 3 niche products, like product lines that you're designing. That's phenomenal. Like
Yeah.
these are not easy people to find. So we are very happy.
Well, and one thing I think we really need to stress is how global she's gotten her experience. I mean, she's from the UK, but she spent time in Hong Kong and in China. And anybody who's from the industry knows it is just priceless to have that level of exposure to those different marketplaces and actually immerse yourself and work in them is just it's an education that most people would die to have. So that's just a wonderful experience. And then I believe it was around COVID when she returned home, right, Renee?
Yeah, I was in.
Sorry, we're losing you, but I know that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Renee.
Yeah, it was really sad because I enjoyed working in Shanghai a lot, and it's really different, even from Hong Kong, just a couple of hours flight away. It was like so different.
Yes.
Yeah, hopefully I can go back one day. I don't know. Yeah.
I'm sure you will one day, and if it's for nothing else because you're visiting your suppliers and you're checking in a product, you'll be back there. I'm sure you could. In today's market, you could work and live anywhere. So you know, she's the globetrotter. She'll be all over the place for
Exactly.
But you know, not only that, you know, Renee tried other categories. She's even worked on upcycling projects. So she just has a wonderful wealth of knowledge and interest.
That's the thing. Like, I really enjoyed working on every single different category because even though my heart is in menswear, when I've been thrown the challenge of like women's wear, and it was really like super feminine, like Chinese, like local market women's wear. I actually found it really interesting. I really enjoyed it. So I think like if you're a designer, you can sort of like, a good designer will sort of just like understand the customer and be able to like work to the brief, and you always like do it in your own way.
I lost it for a second, but I think the really great thing about that, having the exposure in women's wear, is you look at menswear differently, and same with having women's wear and doing that collection. Being a menswear designer, you look at it differently, and you bring really great details that somebody who's always in that marketplace might not think of. So I actually think it's great to have that cross-category exposure. It makes you more rounded, and then you have more opportunity. Same with outerwear. Just doing an outerwear and then going and thinking about the details of different garment type. You're thinking so much more in depth, and that just adds another level to your product.
I love that.
Especially with like more brands, kind of, especially like younger brands coming up with more like gender neutrality.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, and that's like, so important now.
Blurring the lines a bit more. It's kind of becoming like less important, like which side you're on. Not side, but you know what I mean. Yeah,
definitely.
Feminine or masculine, or yes.
So
or gender neutral. You're kind of I love it. You're making it accessible to everybody.
And there's more and more collections that are not only designing that way, but you know, being demanded. There's so much demand for that product type. That's a good point, Renee.
Yeah, definitely. We feel like after talking to Renee today, I just want to highlight for any larger companies also that I feel like Renee has amazing branding experience and would be a fantastic consultant for any larger companies in the recycling and upcycling categories. Of course, that's just a strong one. She had an amazing experience that she could really bring and help some larger branding companies to be inclusive of this upcycling concept and how they can actually do this and achieve this with their brands. Renee! Renee, one other thing we just mentioned was about your experience with the upcycling, and we feel like for larger brands, we want them to know what we think you would be a great consultant for that, because it's just your experience in that product category has been fantastic as well. So Renee is like the whole package, you guys. You know, she's got like, when you talk about the new and the niche products that are out there right now, she's definitely someone that you should connect with. And I say this, if you're a small brand moving into this category, she'd be fantastic as a designer for you. If you're a large brand and need to cover the categories for your brand, she'd be a phenomenal consultant for you because she has this great niche experience. So we just want to make sure that companies understand that. It's a great
and I really think that the name of her company speaks to it. Her company name is E.Foo Designs, and that means clothing. So, you know, she's well-rounded, and she didn't pigeonhole herself even in her corporate name. So no, that's a great conversation piece, as she said, and just really describes who she is as a designer and an individual. And you can find Renee on fashionindex.com. Again, if you're just joining us or if you know us, please check her out on fashionindex.com. We are your resource. If you need a designer like Renee, if you need a consultant or a coach, or if you need
fabric
a tech
resources,
designer, if you need a tech
factories,
designer, a pattern, a seamstress, whatever it is that you need, you can find it on fashionindex.com. And again, we're just so happy that Renee joined us for her very first IG Live. There's always things that happen on your first one. So she has done amazing, and we're just really thrilled to have her today.
Yes. Thank you so much, Renee. I know you can hear us, but you're probably having a connectivity issue with us viewing your video, but it's okay. Don't even stress about that. We got you. You're good.
You're good.
Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. We loved having you here, and we will connect with you next week. We have super exciting things live in Miami with O'Neill White, our first brand ambassador.
And he is on this call today, so yay! Thank you, O'Neill.
Super excited, guys. Take care. Have a wonderful day. Bye.
Bye.